Well, hello there, brothers and sisters of WoT Blitz universe. You're watching WoT Blitz Addict again. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't posted for over a week, but I was really busy, and I'm still busy, but at least I told myself I need to make a video because it's been a long time, over a week, I think, even 11 days. Yeah, it's rarely on my channel. It's really rare on my channel that I'm posting so rarely. So I decided I had a few nice replays on my phone still remaining. Some of them are really outdated, so I decided to use them here, but are still great battles, so you have something to watch while I will be ranting here about the current state of the Blitz. And of course, there are some good things, there are some bad things. We're gonna focus on both because I don't want to say that Blitz became a bad game or throw bad stuff on devs because they're trying. Of course, many of us can tell that matchmaking is reached and so on, and I want to state straight on the beginning of this video that I don't think that matchmaking is reached. I know that matchmaking has some issues. Of course, it has some issues, but it's not reached at any shape or form. But yeah, so I would say let us start with the good things. So the first good thing about Blitz these days is that are a lot of new players coming into the game, which is great because the community is the only main thing that makes this game going. And with growing number of players, you can get better matches. I mean, you don't have to wait long to get a match. And of course, the other great thing is that devs are constantly trying to put new lines for us to grind. It was like that with European line, then Swedish tanks. Now it's gonna be Czechoslovakian tanks, which is great because I'm one of those players, and there's many of us, I think at least, that have most, if not all, tanks, tech tree lines, and so on. So we're getting kind of bored just farm credits in the premium tanks. And on the other hand, some of us have too many credits and just don't have no place to use them. So that's another issue. So that's great if Wargaming puts some other tanks, new tanks, for us to grind, for us to play. Of course, you can grind them easily with your free XP and so on, but I think it's not fun. I mean, for me as a YouTuber, and for most of YouTubers, if not all, without community contributor account, they will use the CC account, of course, if they have. If they don't, they will probably free X the tank just to show it to you as soon as possible, simply so you don't have to wait for a review. But for players that aren't YouTubers, of course, they can play just for fun, explore new tanks, find the good and bad sides about them, and simply have some more fun. And that's the other great thing about the game nowadays. Of course, it's still fun to tune. Of course, it's still fun to play with your friends, to use Discord, to chat during games, to play tournaments. There are many good things still going for the game. But for the bad things, and the most ridiculous thing that I find in this game nowadays, actually there are two things. One of them is the problem with the matchmaking. I mean, matchmaking, especially with when we have all those annihilators running in tunes, especially, and especially when they are a top tier, that's kind of an issue. And I don't want to say that's an issue overall, because if matchmaking would balance it by putting another tune of annihilators in the opposite team, then I don't see any issues with that. Let the better players win, better team win, and that's gonna be it. But if you get situations like that, when you have two annihilators in a tune against, let's say, some tech tree tanks like the Tiger 1 and let's say Tiger P, then from the start of the game, in most cases, you know you will lose it. So that's the issue, and there are a lot of examples like that when the matchmaking doesn't balance the equal number of tanks, or it's going for let's say two TDs in both teams, but one team has two tier 9 TDs and the other has two tier 10 TDs, which is basically ridiculous. And the same with the heavies. Let's say we have 3 heavies on our team, but we only have one tier 10 heavy and two tier 9 heavies. And the enemy team has 2 tier 10 heavies and one tier 9 heavy. The problem is that after the buff of HP points for heavy tanks, they have a lot of advantage on the battlefield because of the hit points. I mean, the hit points is the problem in this scenario, because no matter what you're gonna do, I mean, of course you can win, but it's still gonna take you a lot of effort and trying to really carry hard to be able to win those games. And that's an issue, and I think Wargaming should solve this problem, because otherwise it will be really hard for them to balance the game properly. I mean properly, because every one of us had those matches when you lose 7-0 or win 7-0, and that's not fun. I mean, at least not for me, at least not for many YouTubers I know, like Martin Dogger, who already did a video on it some time ago. But yeah, I'm fully aware that it's fun to win, of course, but it's not like an easy win when you just go rush the flank, kill everyone, and not lose a single HP. That's not how it should be. I mean, that's killing all the fun in the game. It's not fun to win that in that way, because yeah, it's not even feeling like some kind of challenge for the skilled players. I rather win the game when it's close, when it's like 4 against 3, and we trying to win the game, no matter if we win or we're gonna lose, but we still feeling that it's still possible to win. But if you're left alone against 7 enemies, what you gonna do? Let's be realistic. No, there's no way. Simply, there's no way, or really 1% chance you're gonna win this game. And that's the first issue. The second issue I found with the game is the problem with the easy grind nowadays. After update 5.5, the tech trees are getting smaller and smaller, and they are way easier to grind the tanks. And that's the problem. That's the main problem for me, because you can find, you noticed, I'm more than sure you already noticed many situations where you had tier 10 tanks with players playing, let's say, less than 2,000 battles, and they already have tier 10. Then in most cases they have less than 40 win rate, because yeah, they just racing for this tier 10. And that's the thing that Wargaming should, I think they should at least try to kind of balance it. Because of course there are players, I can understand players who want to get to tier 10 because they think it's it's a top tier, and it's fun, but it's only fun if you have some skills and you know what you're doing. Because with all those big guns like the 183s, like the Yagurus, E100s, and many other, you won't last long if you don't know what you're doing. And that's the issue. I think Wargaming have 2 solutions for that. I mean, 2 possibilities to solve this problem. One is to make some really good tutorial videos, which they mentioned already that they trying to make, and I think they already made one. Yeah, so that's the one solution. They should simply make tutorials for new players, especially that there are a lot of new players coming into game. And the other thing is that somehow they should add some more tech tree tanks and make the progress a bit slower. Of course, it's not good for them as a company because why, I don't know if you know why they did it. Simply because they want to keep the players in game. And if you can easily grind through all the tanks straight to tier 10, and it's not going to take you a lot of time and effort, then you'll probably stay with the game for a longer time and grind another line and another line, because many people have issues with the WoT PC, because I know there's basically a retarded number of XP you need to grind to get a chance to get your tier 10 tanks. And I think Wargaming decided to make it easier on the mobile players just by removing most, maybe not most, but at least half of the tanks and make the low tiers basically, let's say, unplayable for more skilled players. I'm not saying they should be playing those low tiers, but still it should be at least some diversity in tanks on low tiers. Because now all those tanks without HE, without APCR in most cases, they only have AP. Some have, let's say, I think tier 4 is beginning to get HE, but still they don't have the derp guns. They don't have the howitzers. They don't have many guns that were available before 5.5, which make, at the same time, which make the new players learn about different types of shells and how they act, how they perform, and where to shoot them. But on the other hand, thanks to all the silk clubbers, they removed it because they basically took the tank like a hetzer and just demolished the red team created of newer players in no time. So I fully understand why they did it, but still I think they should add some more tanks, simply more tanks, to make a trip a little bit longer, just for the good of the game. I mean, sorry. It's hard to play on tier 10 with guys with 40 VRs, 30 something VRs, with less than 1000 average damage, because that tier 10 used to be the skill based tier, because you had some skilled players. You could lose, you could win, but at least when you entered tier 10 you had quite, you could be quite confident that there are players that they know how to play, and you will simply have a good game, interesting game. And nowadays, when you enter tier 10, it's sometimes, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I mean, really, for those of you who already play tier 10, know how it is. And those who don't play, if you're skilled enough, you should try. And you can give me your opinion in the comment section, how you feel about it. Because for me, that's just annoying what's going on there. But yeah, basically, yeah, that's the second issue. There's also an issue with the premium tanks. Of course, every new player can buy premium tanks, whichever tier they want. And that's the other issue with the game. But Wargaming won't change it. It brings them money. I fully understand that. But they should at least try to kind of rebalance it, I think, to at least give a chance to buy a premium tank of a tier to the players who already reached same tier of tech tree tanks. So if you reach tier 8 in the tech tree tanks, which will take you like, let's say, 500 battles, maybe 600 if you're not even skilled. So that's not long. and then you should give access to those premium tanks of the tier 8 and so on. I know they're not gonna do it because simply they will lose a lot of money, and I fully understand it. But still, it's gonna be really. It's annoying for us as a players to experience those kind of other players just had no idea what they're doing and just playing tier 8 or tier 9 or tier 10 tanks because they got it from crates or bought it for gold or whatever. I think many of you have experienced similar issues with the game because I'm talking with my friends on Discord, I'm watching some Facebook groups, I'm talking with people there, and yeah, we mostly experience the same thing. And the last thing I forgot about is the freaking RNG. The RNG shouldn't be as it is right now. I mean, Wargaming and most of the skill players say it's a skilled based game. If you have skill, you can win the games, you can deal massive damage, you can do whatever you want because you have skill. But it's not exactly like that. You can have all the skill you want, but if RNG says no, it says no. Of course, it can happen to you and it can happen to the enemy. Of course, but it's more RNG related game than really skill based related, because you can have a one-shot enemy and that's the last enemy you have, and you will low roll on the kill shot, and it happens many times, not only for me, for many players I know. And that's really annoying because you get a massive low roll on the kill shot, and yeah, how it is skill based. I mean, you were 100% sure you're gonna hit this guy and kill him because you have 400 alpha, let's say, and you had like 360 damage roll, which really made make you lose the game simply by that. And that's not really a skill based situation. But if they want to keep the RNG, just keep it for aiming, not for damage. I would say that I'd rather have average damage at the same, or maybe make it less random. Not let's make it plus 5%, minus 5%. That will also work in my opinion. And it won't be as much annoying as it is. Same with the aiming. Same situation. You can fully aim and you can always miss a shot, no matter what. I mean, you don't have to, but it happens a lot. Yeah, but I think that's the last thing I want to talk about in this video. So let's make it not as long as usual. Let's keep it less than 20 minutes, I hope. So that's basically all for this episode, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you want to share your opinions, please add them to my comment section under this video. If you like to join my Discord, please do. The link is in the description below. Take care, bye bye, and catch you all on the battlefield.